Remember in 2022 for April Fools, they had a teaser for an anime about Yohane? And do you remember in 2023 when they had April Fools for making a game based on that anime? Well, yeah, we have Yohane the Parhelion BLAZE in the Deep Blue. This is, of course, not to be confused with Yohane the Parhelion Sunshine Mirror, which is the anime, Unpolarized Reflection, which is the manga, and BLAZE in Deep Blue, which of course is the game. So this game is a real thing, and we have a lot of videos now talking about what you can do in the game. For example, here's a bunch of the screenshots of the game, so you can see there's a bunch of different areas, a bunch of different enemies you can fight, and you can interact with other girls in Love Live Sunshine. So we can see like Chica, she gets to have projectiles, and you basically get to rescue your friends and they give you support, so you don't get to play as them, but it looks like they're able to help traverse or help fight and help you get to your objective. Like we got Kana, she's on a robot frog. God knows what that does, but we'll have to definitely see how that is. There are things like crafting weapons that it looks like you can use to fight. You have procedural generated areas where it changes every time you go it, so it keeps gameplay fresh. I don't know how much you're changing, but there are games that like to procedurally generate to make areas unique. And then of course we'll have boss fights, which of course is a big part of these types of games. And there will also be some story along with it where you can talk with characters. But it looks like we'll have all the girls here as well as Lilaps. And this game, of course, is going to be coming out on November 16th, and it's going to be available for all the modern consoles. So it definitely kind of gets like a Metroidvania kind of style. But of course, I'm still curious, what else is there to learn about this game? Well, they have a bunch of websites, so let's go ahead and jump to those. Here I am on the Sunshine in the Mirror site, and they of course have some information on here. I'm going to actually go through multiple pages here, but they can give you some basic information on what you can expect in this game. Of course, this game is going to be a 2D kind of action genre, and you can see that they'll tell you that here all the systems that's going to be supported for, and they're saying it's an hack and slash experience. Hack and slash means basically you can almost button mash and you attack really fast and stuff, not necessarily strategic combos, just slash and pray you kill the enemy and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be one player, as you can see here, reigning to be judged. Team probably, I guess, if I had to make a guess. And of course, the expected date is November 16, 2023. The price, which is only going to be listed currently in the Japanese yen, is going to be 6380 yen for the regular version, and then there's the limited version, which has going to be about 14k. But if you just download it, so you know, because you don't have to get a physical copy, it's gonna be a little cheaper. It will get you at 5280. The approximate conversion, you know, you can divide by 100, and I can give you a basic idea to get into USD currency. So 6380, you know, basically that's 60 bucks, 59.99. I'm guessing if you get the download version, they'll let you save $10, so $49.99, and the limited version, $130, I guess. And of course, if you're wondering what is the limited version will come with these: an A5 size acrylic board, B2 size tapestry, and a soundtrack. I don't know if that's really worth doubling the price. I honestly don't think it is, but we'll see if I get something like that. So that's kind of the basics for here. We also have, they have their own site that I can give you a link for this if you want to go. It's just another site which explains a little more if you want to look at the story or characters. Like, what is the story about? You can go and read about it if you really want to, or if you want to see at all the characters, you can go look more about them if you want. So they have that as well. So you can learn more about the game and see some screenshots. And there's clearly a lot of areas and a bunch of enemies you can fight. It's definitely kind of a Metroidvania kind of experience that I'm expecting. So now I'm going to actually jump to the Steam page, because that's probably where some of you might go there, but this is an actual listing, which is really nice, and it explains a lot of information. So of course, we get to see, here is the date. You get to see a lot of these screenshots, so you can take a look and see stuff about it about it, and as well as some of the trailers that they have for it over here, all on the left. This can give you an idea of what's going on. Like we can see, ooh, she's doing a jumping ability where you see feathers and she gets like angel wings and such. And we can see on the top right, it's definitely kind of a Metroidvania kind of style of going through rooms and such. We got probably a health bar, energy stamina bar. Looks like she has a crossbow equipped, and maybe that's kind of a spell class or her doing a feather ability and such. So you can go and scroll down and learn a little more about the game if you want to read it. I can give you a link to this as well. And one thing I want to focus was the system requirements. So of course, this being a game not going to be out like tomorrow, this might not necessarily be the most accurate, but generally these tend to be not changed that much because they probably have a good idea of how intensive this game is going to be. So if you are planning to get this on PC, the requirements is, especially for a minimum, it's not much. 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's gonna be a 2 gigabyte game. That's really small compared to a lot of games. Not the small, especially this is going to be basically, when you look at the art style, it's definitely that pixelated art, and those kind of assets don't really bloat on space. But if you compare it to like the bigger games like Call of Duty, those can take up over 100, sometimes 200 gigabytes. So 2 gigabytes, that's really nothing in terms, especially for a computer game. Though it does become a question of how much content there is. But if you compare it to some of the older games, which, you know, think about like Game Boy era and 16-bit era, this is definitely a good amount bigger than that. So, you know, there could probably still be a good amount of content, though I will have to see myself. I don't know how much content there is, but at least there is definitely an indication of that. But again, these requirements very low. Even if you have a toaster, you should hopefully be able to run this pretty well. This does not look to be a very demanding game whatsoever. And of course, there are no reviews for this yet. But the other thing I did want to check is this. So they have the developer/publisher, which you get to see is the NT Creates. So you can go click on that and learn more about what these guys have done. You can clearly see this is the upcoming game, Yohane the Parhelion BLAZE in a Deep Blue. But you can see other games that they have done. So the two I'm going to be looking at is Gal Guardians and Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Those are the top sellers. So we get to see like what have they done before and what can we expect. So, you know, they actually have some of the games on sale. So you can definitely see they definitely make games like this. This is not their first rodeo. This is probably similar to a bunch of other games, but it's going to be a Yohane Love Light kind of skin. So you can definitely expect them to be pretty good at that craft. And based on reviews, well, they have a percentage here. It's 80, which is not too shabby. So we definitely have an idea of what it could be. And I guess not every game necessarily looks like this is going to be a Metroidvania. But that's definitely the kind of the imagery that I'm getting from this kind of game. There's also Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, which more recently looks like there's some dip in the reviews, but overall it seems to be relatively positive reviews. So you can definitely take a look at those if you want to get a better idea of what these guys have done and created beforehand. But it definitely shows me that this probably isn't going to be a really rushed job, and it's not going to be very good. And you can see they have done a lot of other things beforehand. So overall, it looks like we're probably going to get a relatively competent game here. I know a lot of people say, oh, I wanted a Love Light game on the Switch. Well, I guess this is going to be on the Switch, though. And then you can take this portably, which is great. And if you have a PlayStation 4 or 5, you can do it. So last gen is still supported if you're an Xbox person. Sure, though that's not really popular in Japan. But hey, for people in the United States, that's definitely nice to have. And for the PC gamers, I like using Steam, but I'll probably definitely consider getting one on console as well. I would like to get physical if possible as well. So, based on all of what you guys have seen so far, what do you guys think of this game? I'm definitely interested. I'll probably definitely buy it, at least try it, maybe do some streams on it. Because why not? I like games, and this is actually not a Love Light game that's based on rhythm, which I guess that never really made a whole lot of sense to do until now. But yeah, so much for April Fool's jokes though. But honestly, pretty cool, and it's not insanely far off. So I'll definitely look forward to it, and who knows, maybe we can get some of our other friends to try something live for once, right? But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in another video soon.